The most exciting college football players of the 80s. Deion Sanders. This is in no particular order. Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, Rocket Ismail, and Doug Flutie. I don't think there's any arguments there. Maybe there's somebody you might want to add to the list, but Deion Sanders, game changer. Barry Sanders, game changer. Rocket Ismail, game changer. And Doug Flutie was excitement 2.0. Those are the most exciting college football players for the 80s. Now let's move on to the 90s. The 90s, in my opinion, is the greatest era of football. Greatest era of football. That's my humble opinion. And so this list is longer. Actually, the list the 2000s is longer as well. But the greatest era of college football, especially college football, in my opinion, were the 1990s. Here are the most exciting college football players of the 90s. Drum roll, please. Tommy Frazier, Peter Warrick, Jerome Bettis, Marshall Faulk, Charlie Ward, Steve Air McNair, and here's a defensive player, Warren Sapp. I think everyone I named before Warren Sapp speaks for itself. Tommy Frazier, two-time champion. Peter Warrick, really? Jerome Bettis, I never say nothing like it. A big guy, that belly fat hanging out, with that shirt, with the cutoff jersey, running wild. Marshall Faulk, one of the best college football running backs ever. Charlie Ward, come on, man. The dude was you loved watching Florida State because of Charlie Ward. Air McNair didn't get a lot of, doesn't always get a lot of fame because he played for HBCU, played for Alcorn State. But man, his senior year, the numbers he put up his senior year, I think he had 58 total touchdowns. Man, he was exciting. A big quarterback. He was big. One of the first really big, burly black quarterbacks we had ever seen. And then Warren Sapp. People forget Warren Sapp could have, some might argue should have, won the Heisman Trophy. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Warren Sapp changed games. A lot of times you watched Miami during that era to watch the defense. And specifically, your eyes were on Warren Sapp. Most exciting players of the 90s. Now, most exciting college football players of the 2000s. The 2000s, the not so distant past. The 2000s. Here we go. Michael Vick. Percy Harvin. Reggie Bush. Vince Young. Tim Tebow. And one guy that we forgot about, Maurice Claret. Maurice Claret was a monster. He got into issues with college about trying to come out early, but Maurice Claret was a wrecking ball. Maurice Claret for The Ohio State University was running rampant. I mean, Maurice Claret was a game changer. Maurice Claret, in my opinion, single-handedly won that national championship against Miami. Y'all remember when the quarterback threw the interception? He hawked him, I believe it was in overtime, stripped the ball to get the ball back, and I believe that was actually the game-winning drive. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But Maurice Claret was a beast, a game changer. We forget about him because of his off-the-field issues and the whole issue he had, the whole battle that he had with the NCAA. But you talk about must-see TV. Maurice Claret is definitely one of the most exciting college football players ever, and for sure, one of the most exciting college football players of the 2000s. All right, last but not least, the most exciting college football players of the 2010s. The 2010s. Here it is, man. I'll be honest, I'm still developing the list for the 2010s because it's so fresh. I only got 4. Christian McCaffrey. I mean, whenever you break a Barry Sanders record, yeah, you're up there. Lamar Jackson. Oh, my goodness. every single year, every single game, Lamar Jackson was that dude. Jabril Peppers, Michigan safety. Jabril Peppers. Jabril Peppers was a game changer. A game changer. And I believe he returned kicks as well. Jabril Peppers changed games. He was exciting to watch. And then Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was like one of the smoothest running backs I've seen since that era in the 90s. He wasn't as game-breaking as a Reggie Bush or even a C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey, but man, it was a joy to watch Saquon Barkley play football. So that's it. Now, that's a responsible list. Whether you agree or disagree, that was responsible. Because you have representation from every decade, right? From every generation. It's hard to put these lists together of just the top 10. Come on, man, because there's some ballers in the 80s, some ballers in the 90s, man. You can't just have everybody from the 2010s and the 2000s. So that's a responsible list. So somebody share this with Tavon Austin. Tell them this is how you put together a responsible list. Now, if I had to just pick one from each decade going back to the 80s, here's who it would be. Barry Sanders, Peter Warrick, Tim Tebow. Gotta pick Tebow from the 2000s, man. Talking about excitement. We're not talking about the best. Because Percy Harvin was a better, and Reggie Bush are better collegiate players, in my opinion, better skill set than Tim Tebow. But exciting? Ah, man. Tim Tebow played with so much passion and excitement. Tebow. And then from the 2010s, Lamar Jackson, man. Lamar Jackson's numbers are gaudy. You hear me? So, yeah, that's it. The most exciting college football players for every decade going back for 40 years.